Good morning, this is Pigsy. Just another video. I tried as an experiment to try to wear one of these hats and tin foil and another hat. I slept it last night just to see if we could get better sleep. I did have a cracking sleep, basically. It was really good. But I think it's even just wearing a hat, to be honest. It could be that if you're having particular symptoms that you might want to experiment with. However, different alternative treatments you can do, blocking signals or anything like that. But the thing is, you obviously don't want to do anything that makes you feel too ridiculous. Not it matters because it's like indoors, so it's not going to be a big issue. It won't affect anything spiritual. I mean, last night I had some brilliant dream. But it's almost like something had been wiped from my mind. So that's the other thing. Because I only sort of woke once, and normally I might wake maybe possibly twice or more times since this kind of Nibiru situation. And yeah, so there was like Pelaidian influences there. The last thing I did remember was waking up, but as I was waking up, that I was sat at a meeting with some people dressed up in sort of like they were having like a shiny type of blue. They had like grey bits, like grey sort of sections that went across the shoulders. And I think they actually had a rank there. They had something else there, like a bit like we have in our military. We had some sort of line there or something. There was something they showed me. They showed me a map, but it was like triangular. I don't know what the meaning. It was almost like a download. So there's something going on there. I mean, last night I noticed some interdimensional type activity. Is not uncommon, really. It's peaked a little bit more because of this, I think, potential Earth changes that are going on. But basically I was on the internet and I felt something like dark here. So I mean, I wear glasses anyway, so looking straight ahead, there's nothing, no shadows to the side, nothing there. And then I know sometimes if you move your head and your glasses are not completely clean, it might create this kind of like blur smudge. Normally you see straight through it because you just ignore it, a bit like in the car, if my window's got water on it or something else, there's that you just filter it out. But when you switch between your sort of you use your sort of bifocal abilities, then you sometimes this blur might create something that appears to be an apparition. But the only way you do that is just check your glass. Do you think, well, actually it's probably a smudge. Maybe it was just me, that slight movement there, or something that had actually caused it, made it look like something had moved in the room. So you're constantly always aware of that. But I've had it where the glasses are sort of like, I've been looking down and over the top, and it's in your peripheral vision. In the top, something's gone. That's why I had like this. Well, not quite the sound effect, but they had this like black entity, and it's just sort of moved quickly, and it was quite a kind of denser shadow. There's probably a way to grade shadows, to be honest. But it wasn't like it was grey. There was definitely some blackness there as it was sort of moving quickly. It's probably as dark as this part here. It seems on this film. It's sort of compared to, say, the lighter there. So you see this sort of darkness here. It's got no detail to it, and then you've got that. So it's just like running backwards and forwards. And then I started seeing these sort of white flashes as well, which was quite unusual. So I was just thinking through what that was. I was a bit concerned about with this sort of deep wave type basic gamma blast that's claimed to come through. I mean, you just don't know because there's so much information out there. But it'd be literally like a death ray if it hits. I'd imagine it's moving in a sort of chunk together, but it may be a sort of swirl of energy, and then so there's bits and bobs of it are coming through. It's meant to sort of peak on the 26th, but the energy of it is equivalent to, I mean, it's just like loads of nuclear bombs going off at once. But for such a short period of time, so it might be like 10 seconds or a minute. But if you get hit by a full blast of it, it just vaporizes you, just like I say, a nuclear bomb hit you. But so all this could be just fear porn. and then looking at other information on the internet. There's basically to figure out what's going on with Nibiru and Planet X and all. Cronus, I call it as well, Cronus, because it fulfills the legend of the Cronus, being a Greco-Roman, well, basically come from Greek, to be honest. Most things did. The Roman cult took over. Yeah, basically it's a bringer of chaos and energy, ether, and it's also a regulator of time. This thing has pulled the planets into a line, so it's kind of reset the clock on them. It's also said it gives birth to the planets, or has a relationship with these planets, which are the gods in the mythology sense. Yeah, I mean, basically, Nemesis and its group drag things around. They like trawl things around and drop them off in different areas. I was saying Venus looks brighter, and it may have actually been dragged closer to us, or we've moved closer to it. So that's one thing. But it gets so confusing. Basically, people do get confused by all this stuff going on. The actual reality of it is, the universe, everything, it's got this nuclear physics. So at an atomic level, it mirrors that in the solar system. So you've got two sort of powerful. I guess it's definitely, well, they'll be on the electron spectrum, but they come these plasma energy, which is like the actual suns, and when they get to a certain point, you know, them balls you touch with, whereby it's got something like it's producing this energy inside it. It's like a static electricity. You touch it, and then the energy streams straight to you. Well, that's what's going to happen between Nemesis and Sol. Is it might create a kind of a massive electrical arc that connects them both. In the past, these electrical discharges basically scarred the shit out of Mars. Things like the Grand Canyon could be the result of a massive electrical burst. So there might be some of these sort of savage cuts that have come across from it. I guess on the good side of it, that much electricity would also generate ozone. So in the event that our ozone's damaged, it would kind of replenish it as well. Do a replenish on it. But it would also cause a major situation with, I mean, all the electronics just explode if they get any of that energy, and also insulating yourself. So you'll probably just see like the atmosphere covered with loads of sort of like lightning streaks across it, and then it basically just need to get somewhere you're insulated and well away from it. Places where they've got these buildings that connect to sort of the meridians system, they will be blasted. They would just energy bolts shoot down them. So yeah, so not going to be drawing something that's more spiritual. It's going to be more at a destructive level at that point. Anyway, this is Pixie signing off, and have a great day and a great Christmas. I say don't worry too much. Just, I mean, you'll probably be indoors during Boxing Day. They sort of forecasted some energy wave would come here, but that's in the gamma spectrum. It's yet to all unfold what's actually going on out there. So I guess just keep yourself focused on all the positive stuff and carry on.